All right, everybody. How you all doing today? What's going on? I'm coming to you live right now from Los Angeles, California. It's been a little bit of a surprise live stream. I'm here in Los Angeles this week to attend the Vid Summit, which is this pretty large YouTube conference, and that's gone on for the last couple of days. Just finished it up. It's people like Mr. Beast, Eric, a lot of the really big YouTube creators have been here this week, and so that's wrapped up this afternoon. It's also part of the reason why we didn't do our normal Coffee and Cigars live stream on the Ono Live channel tonight, was because basically I just finished up with the conference and dinner and all that kind of stuff, and it's 11 o'clock here in Los Angeles, which means that back home in Baltimore it is it's 11 here, must be almost 3 a.m. back home. And I thought we'd come to you now with this live stream because in Australia, it's now 4 p.m. Melbourne time, and they're getting ready to announce the results of the World Barista Championship. So I thought I'd bring that to you here, and thought it would be kind of interesting for us to watch together. So if you happen to be tuning in, great to have you here. Right now, they're doing some, let's see where they are at the moment. Let me pull on this screen here. Share the screen. I kind of had to rush and get everything set up. All right, as you can see, this is pretty much the window that I'm using here. This has the different stuff that we're looking at. This is the live feed. I guess it's from Twitch, and I'm not really sure how they're running all their live streams at the WBC. It's a little bit of a I guess it feels a little bit strange. I think what they're doing is they're running everything on Twitch, and then eventually they are pushing it out to. They'll cut it up and then push it out to their YouTube channel. So if you want to see the different if you want to see the different competitors that have competed in the various previous rounds, you can go to the World Coffee Championships website, YouTube channel, and find all of or at least a lot of the videos there. I hope it's not getting too noisy with the sound. Let me turn that down a little bit here. Okay, we're not full sound there, so we'll put that down. They're running a bunch of stuff. It looks like there's a lot of ads and B-roll that they have prepared. Now, what's probably happening is that it was scheduled for like 3:45 the announcements. What typically will happen at the World Barista Championship at this stage is that they are compiling all of the data, all of the score sheets, all of the scores, and that takes a while. And no matter how fast you're trying to work, it does take longer to get all of that done. So, yeah, if you have any questions, drop them in the comments here, and I'll be happy to answer them. But we're just kind of watching the stream. I wonder if I put it to a larger. I don't know if I can put it on full size, because otherwise I will not be able to review it. Is that working? No, that's not working because it's hiding it. Let's come back to that. That was not what we wanted to do. Where are you? Where are you? Let's go back. We'll pull this back. Let me get out of that. Share this again. There we go. Unfortunately, we'll watch that for a little while longer. And I wonder if there's a better way to watch this. TV, let me see if I log into Twitch. See if I can bring one that just has the. If it's a little bit laggy, my apologies. I'm using my old laptop on this trip, and it is all being taxed.
So what are the...
Okay, that's not working. WCC_1. Maybe that'll work. Yeah, there we go. Okay, let me use that. We'll switch this over. I'm going to close this multi-twitch. Hopefully that'll bring us a little bit more of a steady flow. Okay, there we go. That's better.
So I was really excited when for the first time he told me, Donna, I want
We'll drop that there. Oh.
I said, okay, let's do it. And 3 competitions later, we're traveling all the way to the other side of the world, to Australia.
All right, I'm not sure who this woman is, but she's talking about something. All right, so anyway, so like I said, probably what's happening right now is that the judges are probably finishing their scoring from the last competitor. They're what they're doing. Once they finish their scoring and they have the head judges reviewed the score sheets with the judges and made sure that everything is, perfectly fine, then they will take that, do the scorekeeping, and then, oh, there's my friend Gautam. What's up, Gautam? Good to see you, man. If you're ever in Dubai and need coffee gear, Gautam's the guy to see. He's actually one of our videos from Dubai or from last year. But so they're compiling the data. They're also going to be compiling the scores, double checking, triple checking the scores to make sure that the scores that they've calculated are the correct and accurate scores for the outcome, because what you don't really want is to miscalculate somewhere along the way and name the wrong person as champion. It has happened before, not at the World Championships, but it has happened at national championships. And when you have to recall a champion, it's very distressing for all involved. So like I said, I'm in Los Angeles for the Vid Summit conference. It's been a good time. We're just waiting now for the announcements to be made. And it's nice weather out here. It's been a nice time. We ended up going to dinner at a place called Night Market Sam. It's at a Thai restaurant over by Venice Beach. Really good Thai food. Maybe not the best I've ever had, but solid Thai. We had some fried perch and a sweet sauce with some fried green beans, as well as some chicken and som tam, which is the green papaya salad, one of my favorite dishes. And we also had, I'm not sure what else did we have. We had, pad see ew, the noodles. Having a little bit of Diet Coke here to just soothe the tummy while it was a rather large meal. So I'm not sure. Let me look up here who was in the finals. See if I can pull that up here again. I did see the listing Benjamin put from Canada was in the finals. Also, Morgan Eckroth, who is the Morgan's Drink Coffee girl for here on YouTube and on, I think she's also on, not Twitch, but TikTok. She's also in the finals, so that was really exciting for her and her team, I'm sure. Who else is in there? Let me see if I can find the listing here. So I just saw it a few minutes ago before I logged on. Oh, I know it.
Someone is using our coffee in the world competition. It's a very special coffee that we take a lot of care doing. The weight process embodies the philosophy of being true to the terroir and also to take good care of the end good, so that when you roast it, it's one of the best in the world, complex, lovely coffees around.
So much clicking you have to do to get around it. All right, so we've got Claire Wallace from the United Kingdom, Benjamin Putt from Canada, Takayuki Ishitani from Japan, Patrick Rolfe from Sweden, Morgan Eckroth from United States, and Anthony Douglas from Australia. So lots of Western countries with one Japanese Asian country entry, which is good to see. None of my favorites actually made it to the final, sadly. Over the past 2 years or so, as being the head judge and world coffee rep in different countries, some of the champions that we were able to put up were Ahmed Baha from Saudi Arabia, as well as Abdul Masin from also from Saudi Arabia, and Abdullah, and then we had just this past summer, Boram from Brazil. I was really kind of thinking Boram would be able to make it into the finals. I'm sad that he wasn't there. So one thing about these WBC things, they never really run on schedule. It's always a long time. But it's nice to see that they're doing videos and featuring baristas from different countries at different languages, because it is a worldwide competition, and there should be a lot of that input as well. I think one of the things that we were talking about in the YouTube conference was that really it's only 10% of the world speaks English, and there's so much more of the world that speaks every other language. And so part of our topic was really talking about how do we take content, or should we take content to remake into other languages, to have greater outreach. There's the pros and cons of that. Like, you could have greater audience in other countries. So let's say like Russia, which you could have vastly more views and audiences by doing it in Russian. However, the rate of return on those views is much lower than in Western countries like the United States or Japan, for example. So it's an interesting conversation, but it's nice to see that the WCC is addressing that larger audience by creating content for at least to address those and reach out to them. So we're just waiting now. I wonder what some of these guys on the chat are saying. So they have any kind of some calls for Morgan. Not sure what this guy's talking about. He says we don't need any more Hoffman videos. I guess they're getting tired of having all these videos play. Yeah, you just want to get it going. Oh, some people here, like this guy Espresso on the Twitch chat, is saying that it could just be handled better here. They could be showing interesting content. Other people at WC, or have a guest appearance by interesting coffee nerds like James Hoffman. I don't think they can afford James Hoffman. Maybe James won't even come. He was like, hey, he's too busy. He's too busy now. All right. It does take a long time, I gotta say. It does take a long time. But I'm glad to be here with you. Even if you're watching on the replay, feel free to drop some comments down below and let me know what you think. Any thoughts on the results when they finally come out, or questions you might have about coffee. I'm happy to answer them. Now, the truth is that most everybody that's even live in Melbourne right now is pretty much doing what we're doing now, just sitting here doing pretty much nothing, waiting while they watch. And I'm sure this video that we're seeing here on the screen is also playing on the big screen at the venue. So it's not terribly exciting. But I guess at least if you're at the venue, you're probably sitting there with friends or acquaintances, and you have someone to commiserate with. And look, what's taking so long? It always takes forever. And then they're going to come out and then they're going to talk about all these sponsors and all this. And, honestly, nobody wants to hear that by this point. So even the judges that are there standing around waiting. Now, the interesting thing is that typically the head judge will know who's the winner. And I always find that to be just an interesting position to be in. So when I'm running a competition, I tend to know who the winner is. So I know the final results. And there's a couple other people that do know the final results. And it's always interesting because you're standing there and you know who won. So you can see that person. Maybe you may be interacting with that person, but of course you're not telling them. You're not giving an indication that they're the winner. But you just, you find it interesting because at least I do. I find it interesting because, here you are. And you see the competitors, and of course, 5 of them are still very hopeful. You know that all those 5 are about to be crushed, and only there's one person left that's going to be happy. And that's what I tell both the judges as well as the competitors during their respective meetings prior to the beginning of the competition, is that there's only one person that will be happy at the end of the day. And that's the guy that wins, the person that wins. So everybody else, no matter how much of a good face they put on it, is disappointed, is sad, is, probably feeling some level of dejection. And so I always try to make sure that we all understand that, because we need to be respectful of that, because everybody is being crushed in this competition by the one person that wins. And, especially when it comes down to the final 2, like the first and second place, I'm always kind of like concerned about that because, okay, I guess we're back. Oh, this is, what's his name? No, there's Dale Harris. The guy in the white shirt is Dale Harris, one of the former World Barista champions. The guy in the other one, I don't know who that guy is. Let's see. Yeah, I have no idea who that guy is.
All of our World Coffee Championships finalists are considered WCE All-Stars. So the 6 individuals
It turned up.
today are now eligible to join us around the world for our All-Stars program. The All-Stars program is a unique and fun experience that brings World Coffee Championship finalists from around the globe to take part in demonstrations, presentations, and interactive features.
Talking about awards, to start our award ceremony, we must take the opportunity once again to thank our incredible event sponsors.
Here comes the long talk about sponsors.
These events just would not be possible. So the continued growth of the WBC would not have been possible without the generous support of these sponsors. We've got our WBC qualified espresso machine sponsor, Barista Attitude Tempesta.
The Tempesta was based on the Storm by Astoria. We got to use some of those in Brazil, so it should be kind of interesting to see how they actually turned out in the final. This is the final form.
WBC qualified cleaning product sponsor, Tefedo, and our WBC qualified water filtration sponsor, BWT Water and More.
And there's more. We have our WBC Platinum sponsor, Toddy. And we must also thank our product and event sponsors that year after year continue to support the WBC and national competitions across the globe. Our 2022 WBC Gold sponsor, Hario.
I don't know.
Our 2022
Let me do a little
WBC
sync
Silver
track while we're
sponsor,
doing this.
Barista. Our Origin Trip sponsor, Ally Coffee.
I'm doing that because I'm recording this on the camera as well as I have a recording on the live stream, and so when I sync them together later.
Rhinoware.
Our blender sponsor, Breville. Our official trophy sponsor, Reg Barber.
Now I know that a lot of these sponsor reads are always a bit of a pain, you know, like just want to get on with it. But really,
So we're just
you want to do
moments
that
away from
because
finding out the winner of
the
2022
the
World
championship
Barista
wouldn't be happening
Championships.
without them.
And in addition to that coveted title, the 2022 World Barista Champion will also win a huge prize package, including
A custom rocket espresso machine from Barista Attitude.
a
Nice.
Mythos grinder from Victoria Arduino,
Oh, that's very nice.
An Origin trip with the WBC Origin trip sponsor, Ally Coffee.
mystery trip, that's exciting.
That's always good.
A commemorative kettle by Barista,
Pedal?
A commemorative WBC tamper and trophy from Reg Barber.
an illustrated coffee journal from Aransay,
Reg Barber does make the best trophies in the industry. The years that they didn't use his trophies was kind of like disappointing.
So again, please, one last round of applause for all of the 2022 WBC sponsors.
Now, I haven't seen any of the performances because I've been busy at the
just
conference.
like we couldn't do this without sponsors.
But
we
I'm
also want
interested to
say
see who
a huge
wins.
Thank you to all of our volunteers. So our calibration baristas,
But if you
we
see
could
the,
not have done it
if you
without
see
you.
the, what do you call it,
Wave
the,
from the stands if you're there.
let me turn this down. If you see the comments from the Twitch stream, they're pretty funny. It's like, oh, hey Thomas, how you doing, man? Good to see you. Welcome to the stream. We're watching the World Barista Championship live stream. If you have any questions about it, feel free to drop them in the comments here. But those guys in the chat there, they're pretty funny, like, you know, talking about whatever they're talking. I must say, you know, to see that a YouTuber like Morgan has gone this far to make it through the WBC, the USBC, and now through the whole WBC and into the finals. Wow, that's very strong. That's very strong. You know, she could very well be the winner. But you know, here's the reality: is that whatever the results are. Oh, let's see here. Thomas says, watch Patrick's performance even if he doesn't win. I will definitely watch the performances at a later time. I'm just here when I get home. I'm actually flying out tomorrow, going back to Baltimore, and then the next day I'm off to Saudi Arabia to run their World Brewers Cup Championship this coming week. So I probably won't get to it till next week to watch the replays. So we got some more words coming out from another sponsor or important persons.
Thank you. You are beautiful, and it's amazing to be.
It would be nice if the video guys would drop the names, you know, like a lower third. You think that would be helpful to identify.
Sometimes it is nice to stop and to look how cool our community is. We are one of the coolest communities in the world, and this is.
So Thomas, since you were watching Patrick's performance, what did you think about it? How did he do?
I have a long list of thank you.
Oh, a long list of thank yous. You know, if you're interested, if you're watching the replay and you're interested to understand more about what this craziness is all about, this World Barista Championship, I have been releasing some videos about this very subject. There's a video out there that talks about understanding. It's called Understanding the World Barista Championship, where we start off by going over the score sheets and how we score and all of that. The second video actually watches the performance of Boram when he won the Brazilian Championship. And then the third video actually takes us behind the scenes. We'll take you behind the scenes to see how we discussed and deliberated the scores for Boram that placed him as the champion in in this year's championship. So if you're interested to see a little bit more about what was probably happening in this competition, those would be great videos for you to check out. So we've got Mal Koenig guy coming out. I mean, our Nova Simonelli. This is Marcus. Marcus is very energetic. Marcus has been around with the specialty coffee scene for a long time, and we all kind of started out in the business together at similar times. Marcus started out in Chicago with Intelligentsia Coffee, and you know, he worked away. He kind of got into the whole specialty coffee association and then the World Championships, and did a lot of the administration stuff. And so he's been around the competitions for a very, very long time, for 20 years or so. And so he's a good guy. And I guess he's with Nova Simonelli now, from what I remember him saying before when I last saw him. Well, he must be because he's actually talking about, he's representing Vittorio Duino, who is the Mythos grinder manufacturer. And Thomas says he just had a totally different attitude than anyone else. He almost was talking down to the judges. It was kind of funny compared to everyone else having the same style. Oh, well, hopefully his drink scores will have done very well. That's one of the things that's always very difficult for, I think, a lot of people that are watching to truly understand, is that as much as the competitor may look like they're presenting very well, and a lot of them at this level, pretty much all of them are presenting well, the real gist of all of the scores comes from the taste experience of the judges, right? So part of it is what the judges are actually tasting and perceiving in the cups, but also how that perception, or does that perception of flavors and experience match that was described for them by the competitor, right? So the competitor will tell the judges exactly what they should expect, exactly what they will experience. And if they do experience that, then the scores have a great potential for being very high. And that's the hardest thing I think people have to conceptualize with what they see here on the screen and what the judges may have actually tasted, is that without having the actual taste of the beverage, it's really very difficult to determine whether or not someone would have won or would not have won. So that's something that I think if you watch the videos that I have that I'm releasing, that will give you a lot more. I think I'm hoping that it will give a lot of people more insight into exactly what's going on. So here's another comment from Laurie34. But I understand the need to do all the fat, but they're already over an hour delayed. It feels a bit odd. Well, if you've been around the championships a lot, it's not that odd. It is not very odd for them to be an hour late or 2 hours late. The schedule is just kind of like this idea of what could happen. It never does. It never does. So when I finally came back and I happened to see the announcement they were going to have the announcements at 3:45 their time, and I matched that time. I looked up what the time was now, and I was like, oh, we got plenty of time, because they're not going to do much of anything. So here's another one of our sponsors.
We also added something that we said, okay.
I think he's from, I'm not sure where he's from. I know they said it, and I totally missed it. But, this is kind of what happens. It's more of a guideline. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, it's more of a guideline. It's definitely more of a guideline. So, Thomas, where are you coming from? So, are you, since you're following Patrick, does that mean that you're also in Sweden? There it is. A lot of talking. We had a rather large dinner this evening, so this is giving me a little time to digest, to relax and digest. Oh, Thomas, in Germany. Excellent, excellent. You know what I really enjoy about Germany is I enjoy going to Germany right after American Thanksgiving, because that's when all of your towns have the Christmas markets. Such a wonderful time to visit Germany, I think. And, and I really enjoy the fact that you can go to practically any town in the country and they have the Christmas market at night. And it's just a wonderful way to experience Germany, I think. All right, where are we? Oh, here we go. Another sponsor talking. Another thing that I really enjoyed about Germany is I don't know if this is true across the country. I tend to fly with United and Lufthansa, so I always invariably end up in Frankfurt. So I usually go to the Baumarkt, the Home Depot. I call it the Home Depot of Germany. And they have the food courts, and I don't know if all of them or most of them, but they typically will have the Schweinehaxen for like €7 with some like bread. And I'll have that. This is what I do. When I'm in the country, I'll usually stop by there for dinner. and then I can't finish the whole Schwanhocks, and so I'll just take it back to the hotel room and have it in, maybe use the microwave in the morning, reheat it, and have a sandwich in the morning for breakfast. That's kind of that's my thing in Germany. I mean, Packer could just well represent Denmark instead of Sweden. Oh, okay. I was at the April Cup showroom in CPH. Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah. I guess it is always very much the same. April's really nice. I was in Copenhagen for the 2019 Danish roasting championship, and I got to meet the guys from April, as well as the Democratic Coffee and a bunch of the other places. Other places there, Michael Renoir was our head judge, and I was the rep for that, and so it was a real nice time there. Really, really great place to go and visit, and let's see how they're doing. We're still all right. We're almost done.
Next up, introducing Julia Leach from Toddy.
Okay, Toddy makes nice product. So here's the trophies from what's it called, from Reg Barber. Those I think are the best trophies.
And I know you guys aren't here.
Oh, gosh, everybody in the chat on the Twitch stream is getting a little bit crazy. Yes, from April. Exactly. With the long hair. Yeah.
Just say that Toddy wouldn't be where we are as a brand.
He did a great job. Actually, everyone that was involved with that was really, really good. Really nice coffees.
And just love being here. So when baristas are around, Toddy will
His greenhouse grown coffee project is really interesting. I tried a small sample of the SL28. He grew it in process inspired by the Kenyan double. Oh, excellent. What'd you think of that? Was it good? Probably. Those guys always make really nice coffee. Oh, yeah. Another one, Scotsman.
Ciao, Michael. Thank you, guys. We are happy to be here on the main stage. And first of all, I want to thank you, our excellent distributor.
Everybody in the chat is really getting a little bit crazy.
We are happy and proud to announce our partnership with the Specialty Coffee Association for the next 3 years. We are really, really proud. Our goal for the next year is to increase.
Man, it is midnight here in LA. For me, it's 3 a.m. pretty much in Baltimore, so would be nice for them to wrap it up.
Next up, introducing Caroline Chen from Barista.
Oh, more. So if you're just joining us, we're watching the World Barista Championship finalist announcements or championship announcements direct from Melbourne, Australia, and just giving some thoughts on what we're doing. I would have actually been there and probably judging. However, because I'm from the United States and Morgan Eckroth is the U.S. champion, was named, she made it into the finals, I would not have had the opportunity to judge in the final. So if you're a judge in the WBC and the competitor from your nation is in the finals, you are disqualified from being in a finals judge. So which is, it's a fair thing, but especially if those of us that are from the United States had gone, and we would now be disqualified from the finals or from potentially being in the finals. So it would be a little bit disappointing because you traveled all this way, but that's neither here nor there. I would have gone to that. My original plan was to go to the WBC instead of coming to Vid Summit here in Los Angeles. But when I was looking for the flights a couple months ago, economy flights from the United States were like $12,000. And I was like, oh, I can't afford that. That's just too much. So I decided not to go and to go here to LA. So let's see here. Oh, Thomas. I wonder if he messed up compulsory, if the judges didn't like his almost washed geisha. He served an open since he didn't make it to the finals. Gonna have to let's go. Oh, so Patrick,
And now we're going to welcome the competitors to the stage in the order of performance.
Let's come back to that in a moment. Here is it's time to go larger.
From Assembly Coffee, representing United Kingdom.
All right, here we are. This is Claire from the UK. Claire Wallace.
Our second finalist of the day, representing Japan, Takayuki Ishitani.
Takayuki Ishitani. Nice to see a Japanese competitor. They always tend to be very strong.
And representing Monogram Coffee and Canada, we have
Benjamin Putt, very, very long time competitor. Great to see Benjamin making his way as the champion. I think Benjamin's actually been the Canadian champion a couple times already.
Okay, we may want to put our hands over our ears for the fourth competitor representing Australia, Anthony Douglas.
Anthony Douglas from Australia. Nice. Like I said earlier today, the guy with the white shirt, Dale Harris, is one of the former World Barista Champions. So he's been through all of this.
Representing April and Sweden, we have Patrick Rolfe.
Patrick Rolfe from Sweden, April Coffee. Great stuff. Oh, April Coffee. Tomas, do they have an April Coffee in Sweden as well? Or is it, I was only familiar with the Copenhagen location.
And our final competitor of the day, representing the United States, Morgan Eckroth.
Morgan of Morgan Drinks Coffee from YouTube, one of the bigger coffee YouTubers in the sphere. Of course, nobody's as big as James Hoffman. And in the comments, everyone's crazy for Morgan, which is great.
Note before we begin the announcement, there'll be a press conference with the World Barista Champion and the World Brewers Cup Champion upstairs in room 2.1 after the awards. So
Okay, we will not be live streaming for that.
Are you ready?
They don't sound ready.
Are you guys ready? Come on. Look at them. Don't they look amazing?
They don't look happy.
All right.
That's for sure. Especially the American champion does not look happy.
Let's go. In sixth place, presented by Scotsman, Patrick Rolfe, representing Sweden.
Patrick Rolfe. There you are, Tomas. Sorry, your guy only got sixth place.
In fifth place, to be presented by Toddy, the Barista Champion of Canada, Benjamin.
So like I said earlier, these guys, everyone is disappointed. Only the champion will be happy. I guess the toughest place to be disappointed is the second place, which is why we always try to be very cognizant of
And
that.
in fourth place, presented by Cafedo, representing Japan, Takayuki Ishitani.
Japan, third place.
It's getting exciting.
Top three.
People really get excited now.
In third place, to be presented by BWT Water and More, the Barista Champion of the United Kingdom, Claire Wallace.
Claire Wallace, United Kingdom, third place. So that puts both Morgan from the United States and Anthony Douglas.
And then there were two.
And we know how this works. So with the next one, we'll learn something else. But please, we're going to need as much respect as we can possibly get. In second place, presented by Victoria Arduino, the Barista Champion of the United States, Morgan Eckroth.
Oh, Australia has taken the crown again. My gosh. Exciting times for Australia. Very nice, very nice. It's been a long time for Australia. Oh, people going crazy there. Listen to them.
Settle down. You want to hear it. Let's hear it for real.
Presented by Barista Attitude, the 2022 World Barista Champion is
Anthony Douglas from Australia.
There it is. Anthony Douglas, Australia, World Barista Champion 2022. Congratulations, Anthony, and congratulations, Australia. Very exciting time. Goodness, very nice, very nice. All right. Hold it up high there, my man. Hold it up high. You deserve it.
A heavy trophy.
Nice. Good thing they put that card up while they're instead of showing the finalists in their order like they just had, they cut away to this card. Who knows why they do things like that? All right, maybe we won't get any. We won't get them back. They're not coming back to us. I don't know what's going on there. Let's go back here. So just in case you're joining us, that is the World Barista Champion is now Anthony Douglas from Australia. I don't know why they don't come back to the video feed. That's just when you're like me and you come from a television background, you're just like some things you just. And now we go back to Dale and then back to the card. Oh, well. All right. So that's it. Anthony Douglas from Australia is the 2022 World Barista Champion. It is midnight here in Los Angeles and 5 o'clock in Melbourne and 3 a.m. in my hometown of Baltimore. And for all of you guys out there, it's different. Oh, here we go. WCC organization. Okay. Oh, yeah, no doubt. Rasmus, former roasted Aprons, made it his hobby to grow coffee in a greenhouse in Copenhagen and compete in the World Brewers Cup using geisha he made, but he went out in the first. Oh, okay. Gotcha. The Brewers Cup, that was being held on this competition as well, wasn't it? I think it was. I haven't been paying too close attention since I wasn't there, and I've been at this other conference, so. Oh, that's too bad. Well, congratulations. I'm glad he made it to the World Championship, but unfortunately, sometimes it's a very difficult thing. This is the thing where about these competitions, like let's say whether you're at the finals of the World Barista Championship, finals of the World Barista Cup, the reality is that just little changes in your routine can make a major impact. So if you look in the comments on the Twitch feed, a lot of disappointment for Morgan not making the champion. It could be that if they ran the whole thing again tomorrow, she might very well be the champion. It's really when you get to this level of competition, it really tends to be very, very close. Eventually, they will release the scores so we can get a chance to see the scores and really get a little more insight into how they did. Like in the past, what we did for when Diego won last year is we did a little mock up, watched his routine. Kind of gave some scores to try to, extrapolate scores out of what his potential could be. And, we were able to determine within 2 points of his actual score, the results. So we'll once those scores are released, we'll try to make another video about Anthony's performance and see what we can come up with. Especially Brewers Cup, there's so much. Yes, there's quite a lot. Yeah, I'm actually overseeing the Brewers Cup in Saudi Arabia this coming week. That'll be held in Al Khobar and Dammam. So I don't know if you happen to make it down to Saudi Arabia, come on and watch. Or if you want to come and judge, come to Dammam. We need you here there by Wednesday. All right, so I guess that's it. Thank you very much for tuning in. Appreciate you spending a little bit of time with me here on this kind of impromptu live stream. We'll be back again with another one of our coffee Q&As at some point, maybe this week. And then we're also planning to do our weekly Coffee and Cigars live stream Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern time, which I think in Germany would be 3 a.m., so a little bit early for you guys. But we do that every Thursday night on the Ono Live channel, Ono Live channel. So if you have the chance, come and join us. And thank you for the the sleep, you get a good sleep too, because I know it's really, really early for you there, or maybe it's already tomorrow and you're getting ready to go to work. Oh, thanks. I'm glad you enjoyed that coverage last year. We'll do more of that. I'm actually working with one of our other viewers had asked me to do a video about Dale Harris's performance. So I actually reached out to Dale and said, hey, man, can you share with me your score sheets? So I actually have his actual score sheet. So once I get a little bit of time to do that video, we'll review Dale's performance and really dive deep into his score sheets and how he performed and what the judges themselves thought. All right, so thanks for tuning in. Have a great one as always, and see you next time.